What's up, everybody? I'm Eric from Grendel Studios. I got a microphone, and I built a jetpack. Let me show you. This is my jetpack. This is what I took to the maker event Opensauce a little over a week ago, and I think I'm going to show you guys how I built it. So the whole thing started about February, March, when I was watching one of my favorite YouTube creators, William Osman, and he started to talk about an idea that he had about throwing on an event where a bunch of people come together and show off their creations and talk to others and collaborate and network, and I thought the whole thing sounded awesome. At that point, I wanted to be a guest of the event to just come and walk around, and so I looked into it and noticed that you could actually sign up to be an exhibitor. So I thought, well, why not? I'm going to try that out. I put in my application and forgot about it. I forgot about it for like 2 or 3 months until I got an update saying, oh, by the way, your exhibit for the jetpack that I had not built at that point had been accepted. So that was like, I think April, and this event was mid-July. So I went, oh crap. Oh crap, I need to build that. And so my process started. I think I'm gonna jump right into it and show you guys where I started with this, the design, the inspiration, and then get around to how I built it and how the event went. So, without further ado, here we go. Alright, so the very first thing that I did when I decided to make my Star Wars Mandalorian jetpack was to find a good reference model to follow. This is a Star Wars Boba Fett jetpack that I found online for free by an artist named Slusho. I'll go ahead and link his model down below in the description. So next, after I had my reference model, I started to put my own model together. I started my own model with a front and a back plate, and then we got some bottom cylinders, a little bit of detail, upper cylinders, a middle turbine, a back plate going on, some detail there on the top, and finally rocket nozzles down below. So this is it. This is the finished design for the Mandalorian jetpack. And in the next section, I will show you exactly what it took to actually build all of this using my 3D printer. For this prototype, I 3D printed all of the parts that went into the jetpack. It was a very painstaking process and certainly not the most efficient way of doing it, but for a Mark I prototype, it just seemed like the best way to do it. As I continue with this project in the future, I plan to try something new like vacuum forming these pieces so that it won't take absolutely forever to do this. So as we move on, you can start to see the jetpack take shape. I've got it plugged into my laptop. That cord that you see running between the laptop and the jetpack is running a speaker that I've mounted inside of there. We're starting to kind of jump ahead on the electronics part of this. That was the first electronic piece to go in, and it plays a rocket noise as the jetpack is quote-unquote igniting. So then you start to see the beginnings of the rocket nozzles. What's pretty cool about the LEDs that I'm using here are not only do they create this kind of cool fake fire effect, but they are RGB LEDs. So all I have to do is reprogram the Arduino, which is the microprocessor that I use on board the jetpack, and the LEDs can be different color. So it could be a red flame, it could be an orange flame, blue, white flame, whatever the user is feeling. Next up, I've got 2 rockets running at the same time. I'm starting to test the rockets side by side, and it's looking more and more like the real jetpack. Now I've got it laid out in my backyard, spray painting the whole thing silver. It actually turned out to be really convenient that the Mandalorian jetpack is just a matte silver. I mean, it's not a very hard thing to paint.
And here we have, unfortunately, as the jetpack was laying in the backyard, having some of those fumes escape it before I brought it indoors, the sunlight was beating down on it, and it actually, the PLA plastic that I used warped in the sunlight, which caused a pretty big issue late in the game as I was getting ready for the Opensauce Maker event. And I had to employ a quick fix of just heating that plastic up and bending it back into shape. In this next video here, I'm showing that I had just finished the process of using a heat gun on it. It didn't look perfect as I was doing this, but at that point I was down to days before the event and I just simply didn't have the time to fix it. Constantly reminding myself that this is a Mark I prototype, that it doesn't have to be perfect. So moving on, we've got a close-up of the rocket nozzle. So this is a pretty good way to show how the fog actually goes into the rocket nozzle. There's what looks like a straw on the top of the nozzle. That's a pass-through, and it comes out the rocket nozzle below with LEDs all the way around it lighting it up.
So that's about all of the design and actual build that I did with the jetpack, finishing literally a day before our plane left for San Francisco the next day. I packed up the jetpack into a piece of luggage and prayed to God it would get through TSA. It did, not all in one piece, but I had a little bit of time to fix it before the event. And I will waste no more time and show you guys what the event looked like as I explain a little bit more. So the very first thing that we had to do when we landed in San Francisco was actually use the public transit system. I grew up and live in a place where public transit isn't quite as available, so navigating these systems is always new and exciting to me and a lot of fun. And shortly after, we were right there at the event. So during this time, we were loading in and I was just having a chance to look around and poke around the event and really take it all in. It was just absolutely insane. It felt like a fever dream of nerdy chaos. So as we go down here, that's the Creator Museum. So a lot of the YouTuber creations are there. And then the BattleBots are back there. And all along and to the left are the exhibits that people brought in, just of anything and everything. It was just, again, absolute beautiful chaos all weekend. I mean, look at that Furby right there. It's just crazy. And then I think there's a little R2-D2 running by there. You just saw so many different things, so many different kinds of people. And here, we were in kind of the film alley here. So there's some cosplay to the left of us. And then right here is where we got our booth set up with a jetpack and the Tin Man mask right next to it. So here is a video of the jetpack running. This is after I'd got my booth all set up. And we got a little bit of smoke coming out of there. I unfortunately battled technical difficulties all weekend long. You can see the mask moving here, but again, it had a few technical difficulties. If you guys have seen my other shorts, you've seen that mask in action. If you haven't, go check them out. And then we got one more shot of the booth, so I tried to represent the much bigger suits that I have as well as I could, because most of the things that I build are about 8 to 10 feet tall and just simply don't fit on an airplane. So we had the tablet there kind of showing those off. As for the rest of the venue, like I said, it was just absolutely incredible. Some of the things that we saw were giant mechs like this one. We saw BattleBots with a lot of flame coming out of them. There was a warship parked outside of the pier. It was just incredible. There were these amazing huge Tesla coils that would play songs that you could hear throughout the entire venue. There was just so much to do and see there. But as far as footage that I actually got at the event, that's about it. I wish that I would have gotten more. I wish that I would have thought to get more, but in the moment, there was just so much going on around me and so many people to talk to and so much to do that I just simply forgot to get the footage. So hopefully I'll get better at this as I go on. I really hope to be back next year as an exhibitor. I know the event is planning to go on for its second year in a row now, but I also know that it won't be at the same venue. So I'm, again, hoping to exhibit. I'd like to bring actually more there next year. I flew there this year, so I was really limited in what I could bring. But if I can drive next year, I can bring some of my larger things, and that would be amazing. Because like I said, 8 to 10 feet tall, we'll see what I can actually get there, what I can fit. But anyway, that's about it for this project, for the Jetpack project. This is really my first crack at this. This is what I keep calling a prototype Mark 1. I'd like to keep going with this project, but to be completely honest, it's been a few months now. I'm ready to switch gears into something else and then loop back around to this when I've kind of caught my breath. It's been a lot for a few months. I've got really, really big plans on the horizon, certainly having to do with Halloween, so I will continue to put out videos on that. But for now, I will catch you later. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Also, shout out to everybody at Opensauce for hosting this event. It was absolutely incredible, but specifically William Osman. So cool. I'm so amazed and honored that I even got to take part in it. So again, thank you. It was incredible. All right, I'm actually going this time. Bye.